Here's something I wanted to tell you about hardware sales people. And I talked to the guy there at the hardware store. Oh yeah, you can get that off. You should be able to spin that off and just kind of pull on it and move it around, and you'll get it right off. It'll come. He by the way, was the person who didn't know about a ferrule puller. And sometimes you got to take salespeople with a grain of salt. Sometimes you get better salesmen who really know their stuff and can really help you out. Then you get the odd salesperson, which I always seem to get. And they try to tell you something and they really don't know themselves, but you take them for their word if you don't know, and maybe it doesn't work out like they claimed it was going to. That's just part of the process of doing things on your own. Every time you do a little project, you learn more and you get better. I'm going to show you, this is the gate valve I'm going to replace that with. Now it's way better too, because you can just take the handle, quarter turn, and that would be off, and that's on. That's all you got to do. This other one was plastic, and you have to turn the handle and turn it and turn it and turn it, and you've got all kinds of possibilities of it leaking and all that. So this is a quarter turn, one way or another. Nice, huh? This nut here is where that flexible pipe is going to go. And see, they give you this. Now that nut, I'm not even going to use that. And there's a little coupling in there. I call that a little ferrule. And that's in there. I'm not going to use that, but if you were putting a hard pipe in there or something like that, you would put this on the end of the pipe, and then you would put this, you would slip this on, and then you would put this little ferrule over the pipe, and then you would take that and screw that on there. Okay, they just come like that in case you need that. Most of the time people don't use that. They use a different fitting. And I've got some new extensions. I'm gonna end up putting some new extensions on here. And see, it's got a 3/8 line, and there's a little compression deal inside there already. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that on there and screw that on. Let's see if I can't get it here for you. Like that. Okay, so that's what goes right there. This is where the copper pipe fits in there. I'm showing you this because it's hard to show you way up high there. You see, it's got a ferrule inside. See that one there? That goes over the pipe too. You slip that on. You slip this on first. Put that over the pipe, and then you tighten that and push that on tight, and then you have to tighten this up. To keep it from spinning, you put a wrench on this one here, so you can tighten that up, you know, without this spinning around. And to get it off, it's the same way. That's why I'm showing you this. I've got to put a wrench on here and hang on to this right there so I can grab this. And if it's on there real tight, if I'm not grabbing that, it's going to twist like that. It's going to have a tendency to snap that pipe off, you know. So it's kind of tricky. I got to get up in there and get 2 wrenches on there. And I'm hoping I can do it without causing any problems to that copper pipe, because the copper pipe looks a little old. I'm hoping it's still fine though. Here's a tip for you too. All about tips, yes indeedy. Let's say you have that on there, okay? And it's on the pipe. Da 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 da. You've got that tight, so tight that you would think it's never gonna leak. You turn the water back on and it leaks. Last thing you want to do is try to turn this and tighten this with water pressure on there. I did that once years ago. I thought, oh, no problem. I'll do that. Lucky for me, it was in a brand new house. It wasn't, no carpet yet, still concrete subfloors. I went to crank down on that and I spun it a little bit and the whole thing whoop, popped right off. Water went all over the place. I got all wet. Turn the water off. Hey, you don't want to do that inside a house. If that happens to drip, shut your water off. Make sure you don't have any pressure on there, water pressure, and then tighten up the nut some more. Okay? If that's the only thing you remember about this whole segment, you've done yourself a favor. Are you learning anything so far? I hope you are. Is there anything I've showed you that you don't think you can do? Hope your answer is no. There's our Teflon tape. I think I have enough in this roll to do this. I've got some extra. I always carry extra with me, by the way, in case I ever run out. The trick here is to put this on in the right direction. You know, you got to think about it as this is tightening up. You want the last bit of this to wrap over so it's going the same direction as you're tightening the nut. You know what I mean? You just kind of have to hold it on there and kind of see. Okay? That's going the right direction. Do you see what I mean? I'm going that way. When I tighten up the nut, it's going the same direction as the Teflon tape. This Teflon tape is going the same direction as the nut. Okay? I want to be careful with this. I don't want to get any ridges in there if I can help it. I'm trying not to get it over that edge either. You know, because that's where that little ferrule piece is going to go. Okay, so I just spin that a few times. Spin it around. A couple, 3 times or so. And I'm kind of stretching it as I go. Before I wrap, I kind of stretch it and wrap. Stretch it and wrap. Okay. And that's probably enough. Pull that. And see, that's the same way as I'm tightening it. I know I went the right direction. Had I gone the other way and I put the nut on, I'd be loosening the Teflon tape. Now, it doesn't even make sense to have the Teflon tape on there if you're not going to do it right. Okay? So now that's all ready to be put on, just like that.